Hey everybody, today is August 25th, 2023. I'm Gene.
And I'm Zane.
And you're hanging with Uncle.
How's it going?
It's
been a while.
You know, it has been. I came back from, my trip hanging out with my granddaughter. Mm-hmm. And Wednesday I did the show. And I talked about my prediction on how the GOP presidential debate was going to be. Mm-hmm. And I think I was at least 80% right on, but
honestly, it wasn't. It was pretty accurate.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was. I watched the Wednesday episode. I saw you were live, and I was thankful that you were back home safe, and that you were able to get the show rolling again on Wednesday.
Yes.
Now, man, today's show is happening, but first, please hit the like button if you haven't already, and hit the subscribe button if you also haven't done that already.
Yeah, we're really trying to grow the channel.
Absolutely, and hit the notification bell whenever you want to see us go live, like right now, or whenever we post this after we're done being live, so you can review later on.
I'm glad you remember that, man.
Yeah,
there's been something heavy on my mind. I just found out yesterday. A very dear friend of mine that I worked with in Compton, I found out passed away. Sergeant Evelyn Malachi, and she was my watch commander when I first started out there, and she was on graveyard shift. Mm-hmm. And then she was my watch commander, when I got enough seniority and was able to go to swing shift and sleep at night.
Wow.
And man, she was the best. She had the ability to make everybody feel like they were her favorite. Mm-hmm. But
that's always good.
She was a great boss. Good. And I know for me and my partner, the cool dog, when we were at graveyard shift, so donut shops open early in the morning, right?
Yeah.
So like 2:30, 3 o'clock, when the donuts were fresh and hot, which her favorite were the devil's sweet cake donuts.
Ooh,
and we bring her a couple with hot tea and
man.
Thank you, baby, or
yeah.
or when we worked swing shift, it was it depending upon if dispatch would allow it, because we always got swamped with radio calls right away. Mm-hmm. But if we had time, man, we'd always run by the taco truck and pick up some tacos for the Sarge.
That's awesome.
She was awesome, man. She took care of us. She really had our best interest in mind. She was not one of those administrators out to get you. She genuinely cared for us. And also, put a foot in our ass when we needed it too. So I miss her. May flights of angels sing thee to thy rest, Evelyn. I love and miss you.
It sounds like she was a very key moment in your life.
Man, we even carpooled together to and from work sometimes.
Oh,
awesome. She was just really, really cool people. You know.
No, it's honestly, that's the objective of life, is to leave memories, because that's how your name carries on, after time expires. And I feel like they've affected you dearly to where that's the case.
But it's also to remember that the Compton Police Department has been defunct for over 30 years. The county sheriff absorbed them and took over. So as far as Compton police officers, there's not many of us left. There's really not, man. And she was, again, like I said, man, one of the good ones.
It sounds like it.
Yeah.
She sounds like she affected a lot of people.
Yeah, she really did. She did. But, anyway, all right, man. Well, I'm ready to get to it if you are.
Yeah, let's get started.
Okay, well, the debates. Let's talk about the debates. I know what I thought. What was your impression?
I mean, I didn't officially watch the debate. I get key spark notes, trying to figure out just what the conversation was. I'm sure I was honestly watching what you had posted on Wednesday. I kind of thought what my own prediction of what it would be like, and it seems like it did kind of turn correct as well. DeSantis wasn't the main focus anymore because he's already crashing his own ship.
You know,
I mean, I just let him keep
to me, his campaign may as well have the slogan of Casper the Friendly Ghost, because he's so fading away, man.
Like the man's, he's as faded as I am. the man is, honestly, he's falling back out of the race completely, it seems. So he's just spewing some crazy dumb shit, like everybody else was spewing crazy dumb shit. But I kind of focused more on like the mentality of them. With Trump not being there, he was going to go get his photo op happen. We were going to talk about that next.
Yeah.
But
well, he did his thing with Tucker Carlson.
Yeah, he
to air during the debates. But anyway, again, like I said on Wednesday, he's a coward. He's pulling the same Cadet Bonesburg stuff to avoid going to Vietnam, and now he doesn't want to face the music on a debate stage and in front of national TV.
Is that why he picked the particular day to go turn himself in, you think?
Well, honestly,
to dodge it?
No, I just think he was avoiding facing the tough questions about all of the indictments and other legal troubles that he's under. And he's just a sissy. He's a coward. He pulled the Bone Spurs move. And so that's how I feel about him. He's irrelevant.
Yeah, he's still ahead in the polls, though. I mean, that's kind of the deal.
That's going to dissipate fast because
there's that young guy that's catching up and went from 1% to like, he's number 3.
Vivek Ramaswamy.
He,
all right, so I think he's a moron and a loose cannon. He's, talking about how great, a president, the Tangerine Terror was, and how if he becomes elected, he'll pardon him. I'm just like, you have totally lost my vote on that, because like I said before, I watched in real time all the crimes he was committing, and from him first getting elected in 2016 with the help of Russia, and you can't say that that's not a thing, because there are Russian citizens, GRU members, that have indictments waiting for them here in the United States for their criminal offenses committed or allegedly committed during that campaign.
Yeah, and especially with Ramaswamy also saying that climate change is a hoax.
I mean, come on, man. For real? Where did you get your degree in science?
It's like,
or
this is the
geography.
These are the Republican candidates that are up and coming, like with Trump being in the mix. Like, that's what's scary about it. Like, it's not us making fun of Republicans directly. This is what they have coming up to bat. This is what you're pitching against. This is what you're trying to vote for.
I know.
People who represent these things. It's hilarious.
I know. And like I said, they attacked Joe Biden and Barack Obama, who's not even running for president,
Right, and they also did the thing that I've complained about.
But they gave no examples.
Yeah, no.
Your failed policies. Name one and why.
They just threw names out there like it meant something, and then it's, again, the team ball thing. We're like, oh yeah, I didn't like that, so I'm going to cheer for that.
Right.
That's literally how they do things. It's crazy. It looked like one of the, the comedy roasts that's on Spike TV or whatever it was. Yeah, that's what it looked like. It was funny to watch. Like, just highlights of it.
None of them were serious. Okay, so again, just my takeaway from it, all right? Because I know we got to move it along, but
okay, we got plenty of time.
Ramaswamy's an idiot. There's no way he lost any support that he might have gained from me, because remember, I'm no party preference, right?
Bad publicity is good publicity, though.
But
he was
he's
roasting
an idiot
the whole time. Like, it was like his roast.
Mike Pence, Nikki Haley,
Tim
Scott, Chris Christie, all of them are culpable in giving us Cadet Bonesburg as president in the first place. Christie was on his transition team, but so you were all in his campaign. But
Christie's donut. Okay,
right.
Okay.
Nikki Haley, you were his ambassador to the UN, you were talking about how great he was, knowing all the crimes he was committing. Mike Pence, you were his VP. You were right there with him. You knew everything he was doing, and it finally took January 6th for you to
do something right. Yeah, to do something right. Yeah,
right, and
which we are thankful for.
And Tim Scott is in the Senate, voted twice to not convict Cadet Bone Spurs and make sure he was convicted from being impeached. He did absolutely nothing. So none of them have anything to say or any ground to stand on except Asa Hutchinson. He's the only one that opposed any policies from the previous administration openly. Like he opposed he opposed the forced abortion bans, right? Asa didn't want that. Asa was for following the guidelines during COVID, mask up, social distancing, get your vaccine. None of those other guys were like that. And the only other candidate that I really wanted to hear from on the debate stage didn't meet the qualifications, and that's Will Hurd, because he's another Republican that, while I don't agree with 80% of the things he says, at least supports defending the Constitution and letting the people decide how government is run.
The Republican Party is the Trump Party still right now. It seems like it's like who supports him and why, and like that's our leader. They're either like running for vice president right now, basically, is what they're doing.
You know, that's right, man. So
they already know.
I think nobody won in the debates, if you ask me. Not one person.
They're all embarrassing, honestly, because it doesn't seem like they're taking anything seriously at all. Like, you can't tell if it's like a WWE like skit or what. Like, what's going on here?
It definitely is comedic fodder. I can't wait to see what SNL's going to do with it.
It's going to be great, actually. It's going to be real good. But there was one take that I had from it that I still see that I've brought up as an issue within our government through every party, is that they were against the new stepping in. Even though the new may not be great, the young up-and-coming politicians are being shut out, saying, oh, this isn't OJT, I've done this before. We don't give a fuck, we've done this before. What are you doing now? What are you going to do to change things? Like, that's what we're looking at, what we're looking for. A lot of voters are tired of hearing about the T word. I'm tired of hearing about the T word, so there's no vote that I'm going to cast to do anything along with it. So, I mean, that's kind of how I stand.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just...
that makes sense. That is the establishment pushing back to say, I'm bigger than you, you can't move me out of the way, and, good luck trying. And it's been an argument, again, we were talking earlier, man, back in the 80s when Reagan was running against Mondale. He made the same argument, saying, I'm not going to use my opponent's inexperience against him. It's an argument that the establishment uses to push back against that new blood.
And to discourage voters from voting for them because they wouldn't trust them with their new stuff to do.
Exactly. Now, do I think, like you said, is Ramaswamy that guy that we need to pay attention to? Hell no.
But we do need young blood that's going to be allowed to go in there and speak about what they want and how they want to change and what policies they want. I mean, be more invitive about that. That's where I'm standing at. That's my bottom line. It's like, that was their big take against him. This is an on-job training. This is from Mike Pence himself.
Yeah.
But, like, there are those who, it was really weird. They, like, had moments where they roasted each other and then moments where they complimented each other, too, because they're like, who all agrees about Pence doing what he did with the election to verify if they agreed if the election was rigged or not.
Right, I know.
And they, like, a handful of them voted and, like, rose their hand for it.
It's like, again, man,
complimenting Pence in a way, so it's like, it's really awkward. Like,
Asa Hutchinson was the only guy on stage, and he didn't get much airtime, but he was the only guy on stage.
For some reason, biases.
Because the establishment pushed back against him.
It's biased. But
again, I promise you, we had that opportunity to have new blood, even though he was really old, back in 2016, and that was Bernie
Sanders. Yeah.
That's right, man.
I mean, that's new policies.
Would have interjected new things. It would have taken us back to the era of when FDR was president, and he was so popular that people elected him 4 times. They had to enact the 25th Amendment to limit term limits to a president to only 2.
Yeah, so you only had 2, yeah.
Yeah, but, all the laws that FDR passed, like minimum wage, you can go and read them for yourself. Don't listen to anything else. But all those kinds of things that passed under FDR that were so popular with the people, we would have had that had, the establishment not push Bernie out of the way.
Right. And that's kind of how it is. Like, they'll bicker amongst each other, but as soon as they see, like, the virus, or, like, the white blood cells within the system, as soon as they see the virus, or they think it's the virus, a new thing within, they all attack it at once to destroy it, and then they bicker amongst each other again. Like, It's the strategy. It's just keep the system the way that they want it to be, and it just needs to be changed. I've had a conversation with ex-customers, wink, wink, nudge, nudge for new hints later on, about just how that system needs to be broken and changed. And even older ones agree. It's like, it needs, I think just new people need to start speaking that way. But again, the Republican Party is talking about the T word instead of policies and things and loyalties and this and that.
It's like their arguments make no sense, okay? They want to take money out of public education because it's way too expensive. Well, ask yourself, is it more expensive to educate the world or to pay for the ineptitude for an uneducated world?
I think most of them need to try not to hop in that spotlight. I think that's what it is. Like, I need to be in the spotlight, like me, like I'm next, like right next, right there. Yeah. And that's the ideal, because like DeSantis needs to focus on like winning his state back. Like that's kind of
well, see, he's term limited. He can't run again, so that's why he's not. He's abandoned.
He's gonna give a shit. He's like, fuck y'all. They don't care anyways. They don't want him back either. They're not gonna know who to vote for anyways.
His flavor does not sit well on a national platform. And he'll be out of the race probably by South Carolina. That's my opinion of Satan and his campaign.
Yeah, anyways, that's how I feel about the debate. The debate. It seemed like a good old argument of who's going to be the hand. In this, what do you call it? Lord of the Rings world. This where I'm gonna be the king's hand. I'm next. Like fighting amongst each other. It's so weird.
It never stops, man. It never ever stops. You cannot trust anyone. You can't lay your head down for 1 second because your time will be over. Somebody's coming for you at all times.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but anyway, man. I let's move on a little bit from this, man, because I think I want to talk a little bit about Jack Smith.
Okay.
And what he's doing, and how he is outmaneuvering Alien Cannon in this Mar-a-Lago case. Right?
Okay. So first off, who is Jack Smith?
Jack Smith is the prosecutor, is the assigned to investigate all crimes relating to January 6th.
Okay.
And anything that arises from it. So he's the special prosecutor.
Okay.
That's, appointed by Merrick Garland, the Attorney General.
Okay.
And in the case in D.C. again, for January 6th, the same attorneys that are representing defendants in that case are also representing the defendants in the Mar-a-Lago case.
Okay.
And so Jack Smith filed the Garcia motion in Washington, D.C. And the Garcia motion is basically saying, hey, Your Honor, there's a conflict of interest here. This attorney should not be representing this client. And I think that we should give the client what his rights are under, the Sixth Amendment to having a fair
trial.
Trial.
Yeah.
and competent representation, because the people I'm representing in this jurisdiction have something negative against you in this jurisdiction, and that's a conflict of interest. So Jack Smith won that case in D.C. court, and that defendant, once he got a new attorney, because he got his target letter, he was going to be charged with a crime, be defendant number 4. But because he changed attorneys as a result of this Garcia motion, because the conflict of interest was proven, he was never charged. Now he's a cooperating witness, and that is another nail in the coffin against Cadet Bone Spurs, in this case against Mar-a-Lago. So he doesn't have to take it before Judge Cannon, who would rule in favor of Cadet Bone Spurs, because that's what she always does.
Right.
She's appointed by him, and she's going to rule it for him in any way possible.
Got it. Okay. Yeah. Like I said, I'm tired of the T word. It seems like our policies are not. There's still biases in there. Like I've always been against our justice system for some reason, because there's some sort of bias in there. There shouldn't be. It should not be any sort of bias of what judge supported what or anything like that. Everything.
It's supposed to be a very nonpartisan role.
Exactly. Yeah.
And Judge Cannon in Mar-a-Lago is definitely being partisan from her position on the bench, and that's why Jack Smith did what he did, and I applaud him for it. And that's just, like I said, another nail in the coffin. Now you have somebody who said, hey, this guy told me to do this illegal thing.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you've seen the mug shot. We've all seen the mug shots. There's going to be plenty more coming up, I'm sure of that.
And that's a different jurisdiction. That's Georgia. Let's jump on that.
Oh, that was happening. Oh, that's right.
That's where he got his mug shot taken.
Oh, gosh, that's right.
So there's 19 defendants in Georgia.
Holy, 19?
19. And the smart play is to always postpone, delay as long as possible. You don't want to rush going to trial and rush going to jail, right?
Right.
And Fonnie Willis, the DA in Fulton County, requested a trial date in March.
Okay.
So one of the defendants, Kenneth Cheesebro, one of Trump's attorneys. Cheesebro. Oh, Laura, my Cheesebro. but yeah.
Cheesebro. Oh.
So he filed a motion to say, well, she wants to do this in March. I want to exercise my right to a speedy trial under Georgia law, which means I don't want to go into an entire, law, dissertation on what that is, but let's just say they had by the end of October, or the case against him would have been dismissed. So Fonnie Willis was like, okay, cool. Let's do it October 23rd then. Well within time frame. And I want to try the other 18 defendants at the same time. Let's move this along, Your Honor.
Yeah.
Because when people complain, well, what's taking so long? Well, why does it really take 2.5 years?
It does take a fucking long time.
But the thing about it is, we see it, we hear it, we know it, but the job of the prosecutor is to gather that evidence and collect it and present it to the jury that proves the elements of the case. But notwithstanding that, you also have to throw in this thing called the exclusionary rule. Like, okay, I got this evidence, but did I obtain it legally? So I have to make sure the way I obtain this evidence, it's like it takes a long time, man. You have to go through and dot every I and cross every T. You can't go into this half-cocked just thinking, hey, Yana, we all saw it on TV, he did it, the prosecution arrest. That would never work.
Right. Understood. That makes sense. I mean, it's just the idea of right now he's going through prosecution. Well, not just in Georgia right now, mugshot, everything. People still vote for him. He did the blue steel post.
There's the sheep mentality of 18 people that you were talking about.
Yeah, it's that team mentality, sheep mentality.
Yeah.
It's just like vote. I mean, I don't know. I don't want to go on the same spiel. We're running out of time. We got into our dumbass of the week, and then I want to do my little announcement. I don't have a dumbass of the week, so.
Okay, I do have a dumbass of the week.
Go ahead.
My dumbass of the week is Rudy Giuliani.
Okay.
So after he went through the booking process and placed his $100,000 bond, $150,000, whatever the hell it was, came out and talked about they're taking away his right to be an attorney. And I'm just like, first of all, you dumbass, nobody has the right to be an attorney. That's why you're subject to the ethics of every jurisdiction in which you are licensed to practice, because you earn that right. It is a trusted position. You're not entitled to it. And that is the mindset of all these defendants. They think they're entitled to this stuff, and that gives them the right to break the law and ignore the will of the people in our vote.
True.
And I'm glad he was held to account, and if that's the way he really thinks, and if that's really his argument, he is one of the biggest dumbasses that I've seen on TV.
I mean, I have to make a bigger trophy for him for his award this week.
That was just like one of the most dumbass comments I've ever heard.
Giuliani has won a few Dumbass of the Week awards. He's not up there with Marjorie yet, but he's getting there. I'm sure he'll collect some more throughout these trials, and I'm pretty sure his name is connected to plenty more instances through these cases, I'm sure.
There's more pages in the book.
More pages in the book, brother. We're right at chapter 1. Well, I wanted to do my quick announcement because, I feel like it's an important thing to say, because I've always moped and groaned about it on the show. I will no longer be a customer service rep at the company I worked for. Thank God I won't be doing that job anymore. I'm actually going to go train people on how to care for the elderly people. Light care work, not medical. Maybe work into that at some point, but I will be teaching people hands-on the importance of light care work, or in-house light care work, which they'll be in-house supporting elderly people who need that kind of care.
Congratulations.
Hey, I'm excited, man. A 4K raise throughout the year, you betcha.
Moving on up.
I'll take it. I was tired of being a grunt. Just wanted to take a shot at something new, try something that I've wanted an opportunity in doing beforehand. When I was younger in my career of caretaking. So I mean, instead of me doing that, I'm going to teach people the skills that I learned in fields that I did for caretaking and address them with people who are going to be going out into a field for a particular company. So yeah, small company.
That's nice, man.
But
there's a need for that.
Absolutely, there is. So hopefully at some point I get good enough training, maybe my needs can be facilitated to other companies or share it and pay it that way or something like that. You never know.
I see growth within the company.
Sounds like a good idea, eh?
Yeah.
Jot it down, babe. I said it right now. I'll forget tomorrow. Anyways, that is all the time that we have today, correct? I think we're good.
I think we hit all the topies, man.
Welcome back, everybody. We will be doing our weekly show from now on, and I will be here on time, and we might be doing it a little bit earlier, so be ready for it. Yay!
Yes.
I'm Zane.
I'm Gene.
And it's been Hanging with Uncle.
And you guys be good to each other, and we'll see you next week.
See y'all.